This exercise is an architectural exercise. I started out by creating a brand new layer called walls. The properties of that layer are as shown here. The units for this particular project are set to architectural, with the precision and everything else remaining just as you see. So we'll accept all of those defaults. The drawing limits for this project I have set to 0, 0 and 288 feet, 192 feet. You can also see that I've drawn a rectangle. The dimensions of this rectangle are 24 feet 5 inches in the X direction and 24 feet 9 inches in the Y direction. That rectangle was drawn as a rectangle and not lines. So the next thing I want to do is offset that by 4 units, and I'll offset that to the inside. Now I'm going to use the explode command and explode all of those lines. I'm going to copy this outside line, and I'll copy it in this direction by 11 feet 9 inches. Let's move that line in this direction by 2 inches. And then let's copy that line in this direction by 4 inches. Let's copy this line in this direction by 8 feet 8 inches. And we'll copy this same line in this direction by 7 feet 7 inches. Let's move both of those lines in this direction by 2 units, and then we'll copy both of those lines in this direction by 4 units. Let's use the trim tool and trim back to that line both of these. We'll use the trim tool, make everything a cutting edge, and then we're going to trim these wall intersections so that they appear in a standard way as seen on all architectural plans. We'll make these cutting edges as well, and we'll trim these lines. Let's copy this line in this direction by 3 feet. I'm going to move that line in this direction by 2 units and copy the same line in this direction by 4 units. Let's use the trim tool. We'll make all of these lines cutting edges and trim. And then let's copy this line in this direction by 5 feet 6 inches. I'm going to move that line in this direction by 2 units, and we'll copy that same line in this direction by 4 units. We'll use the trim tool and make all of these lines cutting edges. In this drawing, there are several door openings, none of which have a dimension provided for them with respect to their size nor their location. So for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to assume that all door openings are 3 feet wide, and then the placement of those doors will be similar to whatever is shown on the handout. I'm going to start out by drawing a line from this midpoint to that midpoint, and we'll move this line in this direction by 1 foot 6 inches. Let's mirror that line about the midpoint, and we'll place it over here. We'll make cutting edges out of both of those lines and then trim. I'm going to copy both of those vertical lines, but I'm going to copy those lines from a midpoint between 2 points. The first point will be here, and this will be the second point, and I'm going to copy them to the midpoint of that line. We'll use the trim tool, define our cutting edges, and trim. Let's draw a line from this point to this point, and we'll draw another line from here to here. And I'm going to move both of those lines by 6 units. And it appears as though I made a mistake here, so I'm going to move that line from this endpoint back to here. Let's copy both of those lines in this direction by 3 feet. And then we'll use the trim tool. We'll define our cutting edges and then trim. All of the walls north of this one can be created the same way, as can the door openings. We'll zoom away from the drawing so that we can get a picture of all of the walls. And I'm going to change the layer to annotations. I'm going to type DT for dynamic text and press the Enter key. For my justification point, I'm going to type the letter J and press the Enter key and select MC for middle center. I'm going to place the middle of my text right here, and I want the text height to be 6 units. So I'll type 6 and press the Enter key. And now I'm going to type or just press the Enter key to accept the rotational angle of 0. I'm going to type bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. I'll type laundry, bathroom, stairwell, C1 for closet 1, C2, and C3. We'll press the Enter key and press the Enter key again. Let's move this text, but I'm going to move it from its insertion point, which is at the middle center of that text. And I'm going to move it to a midpoint between 2 points. This will be the first point, and this will be the second point. And as you can see, that text is centered within the area of closet 3. All of the other rooms and closets should be labeled similarly.